What's going on, kittens? It's your girl Redavyn. I have another early day. It's about 11:05 right now. It's not super early. It's almost closer to lunchtime. I need to figure out what I want to eat for lunch. I have my daily breakfast. I switched up from like waffles to now I have a bagel. Half a bagel, 2 pieces of turkey bacon, and of course drugs, of course. Am taking care of some things this morning, personal things that I choose not to divulge. Just want to put it out there. I'm naturally a strong-minded, strong-willed individual. And just talking to these people from the place I just came from, they were like, you really have a knack for getting things done. And I'm just one of those people that, especially when it deals with money, when it just deals with my business, period. Not like a business, like I open my own business or whatever. But all paperwork and stuff, when I have to get it done, my family relies on me, to get it done. I have to make sure I stay on top of things. So just for my own comfort. I also want to put out there, being strong doesn't necessarily mean that the world, you can always deal with the world on your shoulders. And I've always had that burden of being a lot stronger than some of the people around me. Not saying those people are hella weak, but I've admired those people in my life, like my friends, my very close friends, because they've had the ability to do something that I've never really acquired over the years. And that's the ability to cry, not on cue, but cry whenever they're sad or they're upset. For me, I've always been one of those people who internalizes a lot. And I know it sucks and I know it's wrong to do, because nothing is better than a release of emotion. But I have just never been an emotionally bound person. And I think I get it honest because my grandfather, for one, my father was never around, because he was a drug addict. But my grandfather has always been a strong, silent type. So I never seen him just boo-hoo, just pour out a lot of tears from his eyes. I seen, in 96, I lost an uncle to cancer. And that was the only time I've ever seen tears come down my grandfather's face. And he wasn't boo-hoo crying then. It's like one tear dropped from each eye. He wiped it up and he just held strong. And I don't know if it's because he knew that I was watching or what. But even my grandmother, I've never really seen her cry until, my uncle died or until my grandfather passed first. And then 9 months later, my grandmother passed, and I just assume it's mainly over a broken heart. Which I just am going through some real life stuff right now, and it's just the process of what I've had to go through just to get the ending results. And I'm not as close to finish it out as I would like to be. I just feel like, the stuff that I deal with it, the way that I deal with it, people would never know that I had stuff going on. I guess because I'm not a person who cries every 5 minutes about something. I'm more or less a person who, I just deal with it, I just deal with stuff and I just deal with it. I think because to me, my logic is sitting around crying about it isn't really going to make the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to make it any, I ain't going to say make the difference. It's not going to make it better. And I just rather work on finding a solution almost immediately versus having to just deal with it and dwell on it and just, walking around somber and I just can't. I'm just not one of those people. I'm always been, even no matter what I've gone through, anybody who knows me knows that I've always been a glass half full type person, and I am, I'm like that. I'm a silver lining person. And, people are ironic that you're always able to find solutions to other people's problems, but can't always find ones to your own. And even if you have a solution to your own problem, it's not necessarily going to play out the way that you think it's supposed to pan out. So, yeah, I'm just dealing with quite a bit. And it's more than just dealing with my lupus, that just kind of adds on to it. And I try not to stress about the situation because at this point, first of all, being stressed out is a choice in some instances. It's either you're going to allow people to continue to stress you out. That's why now, in 2018, I just refuse to allow people to dump their emotional baggage on me anymore. You know, like, I'm always going to be a friend, and I'm always going to listen, you know, because we always say what we're not going to do. But the way that my heart is set up, I can't just not be there for people. You know, that's just not in me. But if all a person has to talk about is their emotional baggage and the bullshit they're going through, most of the times, some of the people that I come across, it's bullshit that they choose to deal with. It's not nothing that they have to deal with. It's by choice. But nevertheless, I'm going to always be that friend. It's not coming out of judgment. It's just coming out of straight facts. Everything I'm speaking is factual. Not talking bad about my peoples and nothing like that. You know, it has nothing to do with that, because we all need somebody to lean on. And in turn, they have leaned, you know, I've been able to lean on them too. But not all the time are certain situations reciprocal. And I know y'all have heard me say it before in previous videos. I'm big on reciprocation. I will always live by that. If I feel like I'm not getting too much out of that situation, I'm just not going to put no more effort to it. It's not because I love the person any less or whatever. It's just because right now I just can't deal. I got enough on my damn plate to be sitting there playing Dr. Phil to everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Again, not saying that I can't lean on certain people in my life. But for real, after a while, you just kind of over it. So you just don't even want to feel like you want to be bothered, you know, especially when you have your own shit to deal with, just point blank in the period. And everything like that, it just doesn't make for a great situation when I already have to, you know, physically find the strength to get up every morning and just to do shit all over again. You know, I'm chasing after a toddler day to day. You know, I got things going on with that, which I can share that. It's not super bad, you know, it's just the fact that my daughter doesn't go to daycare, so she's not exposed to kids every day. And it is a big difference when you have children that go to daycare versus the ones that don't. So in turn, it has delayed her speech, on top of her being a habitual finger sucker. You know, she's regular two-finger wrangler. Anybody who got kids out there know what I'm talking about. And she's like a female lioness, because kids that suck their thumb or their fingers have to have some kind of other mechanism to go with it. Like either, you know, they suck thumbs. I notice they play with the ears. They play with their ears, your ears, or just anything. But in my daughter's case, she's like a female lioness because she carries the burping cloth. And people think it's her hiding her fingers, you know, her sucking her fingers. But it's not, because she'll do that without the burping cloth. Excuse me. It's more so one of those things where it's a soothing mechanism. So she rubs it across, I guess because of the way it smells, and it don't take long for that stuff to start stinking. But she rubs it across her face or across her nose. I guess it's the smell, it's the texture, the softness of the burping cloth. And personally, I can't wait till she lose all them damn things, okay? Because it's just like a pacifier. It's a bad habit to break. Luckily, she didn't stay that long. And anybody who has kids that go through those kind of habits, you know, to have those hard habits to break, you know where I'm coming from. Because I know people whose kids carry dusty, crusty ass little blankies around. And they are just, they're worn for the cause, okay? Like they have a nervous breakdown anytime you try to wash it or, you know, anything like that. So, yeah, y'all, just going back to what I was saying, you know, she has speech therapy on top of, she has an early intervention specialist that comes to visit her, you know, and at one point, even with that, it was beginning to be a stressor because I was like, damn, I know I'm not a bad mother. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, for a brief second, you will second guess yourself because you'll be like, damn, did I not do enough? Am I doing too much? Or what is it that I'm lacking or that she's lacking, you know what I'm saying? Or that I'm not providing for her that creates this lack in her delays or whatever, you know, not her delays, but her progress. And also, they try to say she was on the spectrum. Well, we all know how that goes. The spectrum of autism is very, very broad, okay? So it's too easy, especially when it comes to brown and black kids, which I loathe. It's too easy to label our children not a problem, but label them as having a problem versus just realizing when it's just a normal delay versus, you know, because they want your kids to be on top and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I've ran across a bunch of kids that are, you know, very articulate at that age, but it doesn't make your child less intelligent. You know, she's not slow by far. Trust and believe. With all that sassiness and personality and stuff, my baby is definitely, she's far from slow. And there's nothing wrong with kids that are autistic or that actually have a mental situation going on, you know, because I'm not a parent in denial. But, you know, it's just one of them things where I'm doing any and everything that it takes to make sure that my kids don't fall by the wayside or fall through the cracks, because we all know how easy that is to happen. But yeah, amongst other things, you know, I got other real life crises. I'm not crisis, but real life situations going on, even dealing with the oldest kid. Now, my bonus kid, not so much, because he doesn't live with us. He lives in Georgia with his mother. But even there's some, you know, there's a little bit of issues there too. But, you know, not necessarily ones that, of course, you can't control life situations as they happen. You just deal with them. So we're trying our best to work with his mother, you know, so that we can be cohesive and be a unified front. So that way he knows that he has the full support of both sets of parents. But outside that, y'all, you know, this video was mainly just to let you know that lupus is the very least of my worries as far as what I got going on in life. You know, yeah, it's been very active lately. Like I said in my other video, like, you see, I have the little hand situation going on, and I'm going to get another one for my other hand, so when I go to work, it won't be that bad. And that's another thing, you know, feeling bad and guilty and stuff, it comes with the territory, because you're not the same person that you were before diagnosis. So let's go ahead and get that out your head. You're not. You know, I've said in a previous video, I went through a period where I wasn't myself. I went through a period where I wanted to off myself because I thought it was just easier. You know, I felt like a financial burden because I wasn't able to work at the time. I felt like I was just burdening my husband further. I felt like I just became more work than what I felt like I need to be. And a lot of that comes from being that strong-minded person, strong-willed person, so used to, as a single woman, having to do everything on my own and by myself, that when I became a married woman, you know, it was a struggle in the beginning, because I was used to paying the cost to be the boss. Even though my husband respects me, don't get it twisted. He respects me, and I respect him as the head of the house, and I put him as the head of the house. But it is a struggle. Anybody who's married knows that. That's just marriage in general. But being married and then having an illness on top of that, you always feel like you're not pulling as much weight as you used to, you know, or as you feel like you could, even though physically it is a hindrance. But yeah, I hope this, you know, rings out and inspires other people. You know, this is not easy, but as long as we stick together, y'all, and continue to encourage each other and support each other, there's nothing that we can't do. Also, don't forget, I haven't been as active on my Facebook page as I have my Instagram. I might take the Facebook page down. It's still called The Purple Hearts, hearts spelled with a Z. On Instagram, now that page is open. The Purple Hearts, so it's _purple_hearts with a Z. And it'll have like the heart, it'll have purple hearts, it'll have the purple hearts with the purple hearts written on it. You get what I'm saying? The profile picture. Also, if you just want to reach out just to talk, you need a listening ear, reach me at Redavyn@gmail. Any business opportunities, Redavyn@gmail. I will have everything posted down in the description box. Comment below if you're just having a bad day. We can, you know what I'm saying, there's always time to pray together. You know, there's always time. And don't get it twisted, I'm not the most religious person. At the end of the day, though, I'm always going to be there. I'm spiritually inclined, and I always want to be there for people. Whether you're super religious or not, everybody can use some means of support from somebody, you know. What I can and what I got. And I mean, yeah, it's another starting over point, but you know what? I've never been afraid to start over, because you just never know. God grants you second chances for particular situations like these. So don't ever feel like, you know, this is getting you down. Or if you're dealing with somebody who has an autoimmune disease, whether it be lupus, stuff like sarcoidosis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, you know, stuff like that. Just, I mean, treat them kindly. Treat them with a kind word, because that constant pain is no joke. Like, my symptoms were in remission for a moment, and now they become active again. But I never let that stop me from being kind to people, because if you keep a positive attitude, I promise y'all, it's going to make the difference. Try to have a 24 hours to yourself where you don't complain about anything, and watch how your life changes. Because even through the pain that I'm going through, y'all, I am still blessed. I am still happy. I am still here. And that's the part that counts to me. So, again, y'all, comment, rate, and subscribe. Like and share. definitely, you know, spread the word to other people. I'm always here to inspire. I probably won't be doing challenges and pranks and stuff, because I'm sorry, honey, with these joints, I ain't got time to be putting myself in further physical damage. I'm just saying. I will holler at y'all at the next video. Peace.